Okay, today we are going to be doing one of my favorite things, and it is an ice cream cake. So it's so much simpler than you ever thought it would be. So I am just going to be using a cake mix. I'm not going to make it from scratch, although you can if you would like. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. First thing we're going to do is grease and flour the pans. I like to use coconut oil. You can use whatever you would like. So 1 box of cake mix. Follow the directions on the mix. That's on the back. For an ice cream cake, it's better if you use a cake mix that requires oil instead of butter. Just because whenever butter is frozen, it's a little harder than oil to cut through. It'll make the cake a little harder. So you're going to use 1 1/4 cups of water, 1/2 cup of oil, and 3 eggs. And just to make sure I don't get any shells, I'm gonna just crack them in this where I had my oil. Looks good, no shells. Set up just a little bit so when I turn it on, it doesn't fly everywhere. Now all that's left is to put it in the pans, and I'm going to weigh it just so I can get my cake layers as even as possible. So I'm going to zero that out. And just pour what looks like half into the pan. $4.99 and $4.97. So $4.99 and $4.97. That's close enough. Now let's get these in the oven. I have already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Now we're going to make the ice cream. We are going to make Oreo ice cream. So this is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. We are going to whisk that until it forms some soft peaks. We're going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. I've had mine in the refrigerator, so it's a little thicker than normal. You don't have to refrigerate it. And we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. I like the homemade vanilla that I made the best. I think it tastes better than commercial. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon. Whip it some more. Now you can leave this vanilla just like it is. You can crush up some Oreos and put into it if you're doing a Oreo cookie, an Oreo ice cream cake. I'm going to use some cling wrap. Just to make it easier to get the cake and ice cream out when we're finished. So now we're just going to wrap it and put it in the freezer. So we're going to start with 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Now 2 cups is not this whole carton. I've already used half of this carton to make the ice cream. And then we're going to do 2 cups of powdered sugar and 2. Attach your whisk. I'm going to start off kind of slow so that the powder doesn't go everywhere. Increase that speed until I get some nice peaks on this. Now I've turned it up even higher. I have it on next to the last number, which is 6. It only goes to 7. Got to keep a close eye on it when it gets this close. You don't want to over whip it, because the fat will start to separate from the rest of the liquid. Okay, I'm just going to scrape the sides down and see how thick it is. Still just a little thin. I'm going to whip it for just another minute or so. If it stays on my spoon, when I turn it sideways, then I say that's good. Now the fun part begins. We are going to put this cake together. So I bought one of those little cheap turntables at Walmart last year whenever I was making some other cakes, and so it's just a little cheap plastic turntable, but it'll work great. This is just a little cake cardboard for me to sit the cake on. That way I can easily move it from place to place. I can move from the turntable to whatever I'm going to keep it in. And then I have my cakes that have been in the freezer since day before yesterday, because I didn't have time to do any frosting yesterday. So let's get the cakes out, start having some fun. So I've got it wrapped in a lot of cling wrap. I've had this sitting out for just a few minutes so that the cling wrap will not break whenever I pull it out of the ice cream. You don't want your family to be eating plastic. Now I'm going to place it on my cake plate. Cake side down. Make sure it's even. And now I'm going to put my second layer on there. And you can do it either way. You can do one thick layer of ice cream in the middle with cake on the inside. With cake on the bottom and the top. Or you can do cake, ice cream, ice cream. And it doesn't really matter, because you're going to be able to frost it either way. And you have to work quickly when you are working with ice cream cake. I think I'm going to do mine cake, ice cream, cake, ice cream. Now, if at any point you feel like your ice cream cake is starting to melt too much, just go ahead and pop it back in the freezer for an hour or so. That's why you need to make sure you do this the day before, or 2 days before, like I done mine. So now we're going to put on the frosting that I've already made. Okay, it is later in the day. I had to stop and do a couple things, but now we're ready to get started again. So if that happens, it's no big deal. Just you don't even have to cover your cake up if it's just going to be a little while. Just pop it back in the freezer and then just get it out and start again. Okay, I thought I was recording and apparently I was not. I don't know where it stopped at. Anyway, I just took the first layer of cake off and I had spread a layer of the frosting that's going to be in the middle of the cake, and I am taking some Oreo cookies that I have crumbled up in a bag. I just took a rolling pin and hit them. I wish now I had not left the filling in them just because it's so messy, but it's going to be okay. And I'm making a mess. Guess what? That's okay too. That's the fun of these cakes. Making a mess. So I'm just trying to even it out a little bit. Eating the cookie as I go. Just going to hit it with some magic shell. Shake it really well. This is going to make a really nice crunchy middle. Shook up a little more. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to add this back on top. Maybe we should do ice cream side down. Turn your little turntable around, make sure it's nice and even. There we go. When you're working with an ice cream cake, you need to try and work quickly so that it does not melt. Taking some of the icing that I made, and I'm going to put it into a bag so that I can pipe it onto the cake. And I'm going to reserve a little bit to put in a better piping bag so that I can decorate the top with. We'll just put that over to the side. Snip the end off. Make sure it's all okay. First thing I will do is just do the sides. I'm going to do this little middle part here where there's like a hole. Get that done first. Okay, now I do have an offset spatula that I think makes it easier to frost. Now just remember, it does not have to be perfect because we are going to hide some of the imperfections with some more decorating. So take your bench scraper or whatever you have that is flat, hold it up against it, and you're just going to make the sides nice and smooth. And it doesn't matter that it's going all the way to the cake in some places. Got a paper towel or something. I use paper towel. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect right now. We are going to come back and do some more decorating after we have let this get hard in the freezer again. Looking pretty good. Not perfect by any means. Like I said, I'm not a professional cake maker or cake decorator, y'all, but this is going to look good, I promise. Okay, so while that's in the freezer, I'm going to just talk to you for just a second. So at this stage, you are not going to worry about perfection because right now all we're doing is getting what they call a crumb coat on the sides, and I probably won't put any more on the sides just because this cake is going to be sweet anyway. It's got the cake that's sweet, it's got the Oreos in the middle that are sweet that I probably should have took the filling out of the middle, but I didn't. Then it's got the magic shell on top of that. So everything in this cake is sweet, so I am not going to worry about adding any more icing to the sides. But what I am going to do is use what's left of the icing to decorate. So I'm going to put some kind of ring of decoration around the top, and then I will do the border of the bottom. And after you've done all of that, you are not going to notice any kind of imperfection. So do not worry about places on the cake that look not perfect at this point. Okay, so you'll see once we get it decorated. So hang in there. Decorating is coming up next, my favorite part. going to do 60 grams each of 60% cacao and heavy whipping cream. So I have already zeroed it out. It doesn't seem like very much, but I'm going to do 70 each. The trick is to use half and half. So if you use 60 grams of chocolate, you'll need 60 of whipping cream. If you use 70 of chocolate, you'll need 70 of whipping cream. So as long as you use that ratio, it doesn't matter. But 60 grams is supposed to be enough to do a drip line on an 8-inch cake. So we're going to go to 140 grams. When it starts getting close, you need to slow down because there's just a little bit of a delay on these scales. We're going to melt this in the microwave. 30 seconds at a time. Doesn't really look like much when you first begin to stir it. You just got to keep stirring it. Cut just a small piece off of the tip and test it out before you go full throttle. Obviously, it does not have to be perfect. Again, I say I am not a professional. Probably good enough. Yeah, I'm just going to finish the top. And again, I'm not going to worry about the imperfections. I'm going to hide it as good as I can with some icing. Now I'm going to pop this back in the freezer for a little while before I do anything else, because it has taken me a little while to do this. I'm going to put the finishing touches on this cake and we are going to be finished. I'm so excited. It's starting to look so good. Okay, I have put what's left of my icing in the piping bag, and we're just going to make some decorations on top and we will be finished. Again, I'm not a professional cake decorator, but it sure is a lot of fun doing it. Isn't that beautiful? I just barely did have enough. So I'm going to do one more little thing in the middle with what's left of this. And then that'll be it.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Is gonna share his Oreo. Oh, he will find a way to get that Oreo out of it. Like a tooth. Go back and forth. Yeah.
Yay! You got the Oreo.
Make sure that hard.
Good
so
job.
Good job. Is it good?
Look at those delicious layers. Oh my goodness. So delicious. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you make an ice cream cake, and I hope it is every bit as delicious as this one was, or better. God bless you all. Have a great day.